What's up, guys? I'm DK Wrestler, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a brand new edition of Cop Up or Pass Up.
Like,
comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
So for those brand new to the channel, Cop Up or Pass Up is a series where I look at a certain set of Funko exclusives and via detail of said item, my own personal reaction of the item, and the overall hype from the Funko fanatics on whether each of these items are worth a cop or they are worth passing up the opportunity to get. And today's video is on the recently announced New York Comic Con 2022 exclusive Pops. But without further ado, we might as well kick off with the first announcement being the Polly Pigeon and Pizza Rat Funko Pops, which will be shared with Reed Pop in the US only. And I'm gonna say pass up. Now, normally I would say cop because normally when these pops get shared to Reed Pop, they are limited piece counts. However, this time around, according to the Funko app and the photo as seen here, they don't have the limited piece count stickers, so at this moment they are not limited piece count pops. Therefore, it might actually sit on the website and it might go down in price later on. Unless it gets changed later on to a limited piece count, I'm gonna have to say pass up. Polaroid land camera, which is gonna be shared to GameStop in both Canada and the US, pass up. Now, the idea behind it is pretty cool, and I do like the idea of obviously the two different buttons that would be on the Polaroid land camera to be the eyes of the Funko Pop, but these retro toys pops where it is just an object and not really a toy, because a camera's not really a toy, it just looks so weird, especially with the arms and legs. But I mean, there is a decent amount of hype. I just don't know how many people will actually want to get this right away. The Rubik's Cube, which is going to be shared with Books A Million in the US and Indigo here in Canada, pass up. Basically the same idea that I mentioned about the Polaroid land camera. I mean, the whole idea of the eyes and mouth on like a toy with arms and legs is a little weird, but at least the Rubik's Cube is realistically more of a toy than the land camera actually is. So I do see more people, if anything, buying a Rubik's Cube pop than a camera pop realistically. The Kaboom cereal clown for the ad icons lineup, cop. Reason being is because it is a brand new ad icon as terms to a pop. It's not, let's say, you know, another revamp of a chicken nugget for the McDonald's lineup like we've gotten the last couple of years. We had the Funko Soda for FunCon last year, so now we have it in pop form. And I guess I forgot to mention it was the Funko Shop only for the Kaboom cereal clown. Borat, which is going to be shared with Toy Tokyo in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada, cop. This is the first time we are getting a Borat Funko Pop, and although I do see Borat possibly getting more versions, this might be the version that most people would want of Borat. Notorious B.I.G. with the gold suit and fedora, which is going to be shared with the Funko Shop in the US only, pass up. The reason I say pass up is although I do like the attire involved with Notorious B.I.G., we've seen a lot of Notorious B.I.G.'s, and I believe, and I'm not even exaggerating the number, that this may be like the 10th Notorious B.I.G. pop we've had. Anakin Skywalker from Attack of the Clones, cop. This thing is awesome. I love the idea that they finally made an Anakin Skywalker Padawan version, especially because people have been wanting Attack of the Clones Funko Pops for a while. This year is the 20th anniversary, so I don't see Funko stopping with more Attack of the Clones Pops, and this is a great one. B2EMO from the upcoming series of Andor, pass. I say pass because as of the recording and the release of the video, the Andor series has not released yet. I think it actually is releasing within the next week or two. By the time this releases, will be about maybe, now as I think about it, I think there's going to be a 3-episode premiere. So I think we're about 4 or 5 episodes into the series, and it might be, I think, a 10-episode series. I can't exactly remember. But I feel like not a lot of people are going to want to get these pops until we've seen the entire series of Andor, kind of like what we've seen with a lot of these Disney Plus series. So I feel like this one might sit on the shelf for a while, especially because it's being shared to Walmart of all places. I keep forgetting to mention the retailers. This is being shared with Walmart in both Canada and the US, and I think the Anakin Skywalker is Amazon in both Canada and the US. Jimbo and Kearney from The Simpsons, which Jimbo is going to be shared with Toy Tokyo in the US and Nowhere in Canada, and Kearney is going to be shared with FYE in the US and Sunrise Records here in Canada. Cop. Reason this is a cop is because Simpsons is a very popular licensor as terms to Funko. People go nuts for Simpsons Pops, especially when they do Simpsons Pops that are brand new characters and not, let's say, example, a belly dancer Homer like we got for FunCon that didn't exactly sell well because we've gotten so many Homer Simpsons Pops as it is. So to get new characters like Jimbo and Kearney in Funko Pop form, that's really cool. Clarabel cow for the Disney lineup, which this is going to be shared with the Funko shop in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Pass. Although this is a really cool pop, and we did have the soda recently released within the last year or two, I just have this feeling that with the abundance of especially Funko shop exclusives that are going to be shared, people are going to be more focused on the items on there compared to this. This might actually be a sight sitter as terms to the items on the Funko shop. It might take a little bit longer. It might even be part of one of Funko's upcoming sales. Professor Owl from the Disney lineup, which is going to be shared with Toy Tokyo in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Cop. I think this is a really cool design. A lot of people are really pumped for this, and especially once again, there was the Funko Soda, now we have the Funko Pop, so I think people are going nuts for Professor Owl as terms of the comments section on social media platforms. Kit and Doggy Poppin' Buddy for the Kit Bowl shorts from Pixar, which this is going to be shared with Walmart in both Canada and the US. Pass. Reason I say pass is because I feel like a lot of people in general do not know about this short of Kit Bowl. When you think of Pixar, obviously, you think of, let's say, example, here on my wall, Toy Story, Monsters Inc., Incredibles, Coco, a bunch of other ones. Kit Bowl is probably the last ones they think of on their mind, especially anything short related. So it's cool the idea that Funko is going into the shorts realm, because hopefully maybe they make some of the shorts they made for the minis into pop form later on. But I feel like as terms of the general public, they might not know much about this and they might actually skip out on this. Merida from Brave, which is going to be shared with Entertainment Earth in the US. Pass. Now, don't get me wrong, this Merida Pop is pretty cool. I actually like it much better than the Disney Ultimate Princess one with the gold dress, except the fact that Brave isn't entirely one of the best Pixar movies, and that's not just my opinion. A lot of people, when they do rankings lists, I know that Brave isn't like up there in the top 10 when you list Pixar movies. It's more of even like the bottom 10, because it doesn't really scream out Pixar, it does scream more out regular Disney instead. But I wouldn't be surprised if this does sell out, because Entertainment Earth Pops usually sell out on their website as terms to Comic-Con exclusives. Roger Rabbit with Kisses from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is going to be shared with the Funko shop in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Cop. This is a really cool Funko Pop. The original Roger Rabbit Funko Pop is so high in price, so a lot of people who missed out on the original one are probably going to want to get this one, especially because this pop is the chase version of Roger Rabbit for the Funko Soda, so people might prefer the Funko Pop more than the Funko Soda. Smee with Skull Rock Pop Town from Peter Pan, which is going to be shared with Box Lunch in the US and GameStop here in Canada. Cop. This is very awesome. You're kind of getting a bang for your buck as terms to this, because you have the town of the Skull Rock, but you also have Smee in the boat, which is more of a pop ride. So I think it's really cool that you're kind of getting a rides and a town in one for only one price. Guy from Free Guy, which is going to be shared with the Funko shop in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Cop. Reason I say cop for this is because, in my opinion, I think that this might be the only Guy Pop that we get from Free Guy. I feel like with a lineup like this, they won't do that many Guy Pops, and if they do more Guy Pops, this is going to be the best of them, because realistically, you can't really change Guy that much, because he has the exact same outfit throughout the movie. The Statue of Liberty from Spider-Man No Way Home, which is going to be shared with Amazon in Canada and the US. Pass. This one I am the most confident on for my decision, because of the fact that people are not wanting a Statue of Liberty for Spider-Man No Way Home. We all want Doc Ock, Green Goblin, the villains, especially Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man Pops. But obviously, due to licensing issues, that cannot happen until 2023. So I feel like for here, it's gonna be a sight sitter for sure on Amazon until those Pops that we want release. Groot from the I Am Groot short series on Disney Plus, which is going to be shared with Target in the US. Pass. I mean, we've had so many Groot Pops already in the past when they did do those abundance of Groot Pops since the Guardians of the Galaxy movies came out. It's kind of the same realm that happened before, obviously, the huge craze about Grogu, where there are so many different variants of Grogu. So for them to come back to this because of the short series on Disney Plus, I mean, I don't know how many people are going to really get it unless you were actually a huge fan of the short series that was only, I believe, 5 minutes per episode. Nick Fury for the upcoming Marvel Studios Secret Invasion. This is going to be shared with the Funko shop in the US. Pass. This one's a little weird because Secret Invasion is actually not coming out until, I believe, sometime in Q1 of 2023. So for them to promote this super early on instead of, let's say, maybe a Emerald City Comic-Con, which will happen by the time it gets released, is just a little weird to me. And I mean, Nick Fury, he looks cool in here, but I just don't know how many people will want to get it at the moment, especially with how much fire is produced for NYCC in terms to exclusives, that people might think of this as more of an afterthought. Mona Lisa Saperstein from Parks and Recreation, which this is going to be shared with Target in the US only. Pass. Now, although it's really cool to get a new character for Parks and Recreation in Funko Pop form, I do feel that there isn't entirely as big of a fan base for Parks and Recreation as, let's say, The Office, but at the same time, Parks and Recreation Pops have been selling quite well this year, so maybe this is one of those things where, like, I'm not entirely confident with the pass-up. It might actually sell it. It might be the pop, to be honest, that might actually sell out for Target. Halloween Kelly Kapoor from The Office, which is going to be shared with Walmart in both Canada and the US. Pass. Now, that's very shocking for me to say because I am a huge Office fan. I have almost every single pop from The Office, and I'm trying to get the complete set. Now this is one that I'm going to be getting, but the fact of the matter is that it's just another version of Kelly Kapoor. Kelly isn't one of the better characters of The Office, and if they would have done a pop like, let's say, Gabe in the Lady Gaga outfit, because it's in the same episode as this Kelly Kapoor, I think it definitely would have been a cop because of the fact that it's a brand new character and a cool moment in The Office. Shred from The Last Kingdom, which is going to be shared with Amazon in both Canada and the US. Pass. Now, although I believe this is the first pop for this TV series, it's the fact that it's being shared to Amazon. We know that unless it's something really, really crazy cool, the Amazon pops usually do not sell out on their website and they eventually go on sale. I do predict that the Anakin Skywalker is probably going to sell out on the website because it's something that people have been really wanting for a long time, but I feel like this is going to be a pop that only a certain amount of people are going to get, and it's eventually going to go on sale on Amazon's website. So pass up the opportunity to get it right now. Kayla from Jurassic World Dominion, which is going to be shared with Target in the US and I believe Toys R Us here in Canada. Pass. It's just a simplistic human character from the series. I felt like if it was one of the dinosaurs involved and it was a new version of that, I think it would sell more because there is a bunch more detail in terms of the dinosaur pops than there are of the human pops. Red Superman from the DC Comics lineup, which is going to be shared with Amazon in both Canada and the US. Pass. A lot of people have gotten the blue Superman already. I mean, not a lot of people I find would get both the blue and the red version. Plus, it's being shared to Amazon once again, so I feel like it's going to go on sale later on. Harry Potter with the Basketless Fang and Gryffindor sword. This is going to be shared with Target in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Pass. Now, although now as I think about it, this might actually be the one pop that sells out right away at Target, I do feel that they should have done this a little bit better, like maybe actually being a deluxe form where he is stabbing the diary with the Basilisk Fang. It's still a decent looking pop, but I just don't see this really selling compared to actually the next pop that I'm going to be discussing about, which I might as well go to that. It is Neville Longbottom with the Pixies from Harry Potter, which that's going to be shared to Walmart in both Canada and the US. Cop. Reason I'm saying cop is because I think it's a much better pop than the Harry Potter one. We don't get too many Neville Longbottom pops, and especially because this is the 20th anniversary of Chamber of Secrets movie, this was actually a funny moment as terms of the movie, so a lot of people are going to want to capture this moment in pop form in their collection. A comic book version of Aquaman, which is going to be shared with Walgreens in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Cop. Mainly because I feel like we don't really get that many regular Aquaman, like, comic book version items from Funko. It's just mainly Aquaman from, you know, the movie of Aquaman and the Justice League and all that. So you don't get that many retro Aquaman items as it is. So I feel like a lot of people are really going to want this because it's something they've been waiting to get. Star Sapphire from Green Lantern, which is going to be shared with Entertainment Earth in the US. Cop. It's a really cool looking figure. A lot of people are really hyped about this. And the fact that it has a lot of cool details, especially what's going on with the stand and kind of the energy. It's Emperor Joker from Batman, which is going to be shared with Hot Topic in both Canada and the US. Cop. The detail is excellent with this. This is a really cool DC pop, and I think out of all of the Hot Topic pops, this might actually sell out compared to some of the ones that are being shared to Hot Topic. Yosemite Sam with the Black Knight attire from Looney Tunes, which is going to be shared with the Funko shop in the US only. Cop. The reason I say cop is because this might actually be the only Yosemite Sam pop that most people will be able to obtain in their collection. And you might be thinking, there's probably going to be a regular version down the line. And yes, there is going to be a regular one down the line if you are really wanting to invest in the new NFT Looney Tune pops, where there is going to be a regular Yosemite Sam. So a lot of people aren't really invested in the NFT pops, so that would mean that you would really need to get this version of Yosemite Sam, Swampfire from Ben 10, which is going to be shared with Walmart in the US and Canada. Cop. We've been waiting for Ben 10 items to arrive in Funko form in a while. We did have a Wacky Wobbler years and years ago, and we had the Funko Soda announced, but now we have the first ever Funko Pop for it, so people are going to be very hyped for it. It's kind of the same situation with Danny Phantom. Ted Lasso Coach Beard. This will be shared with Target in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Cop. Now this is weird to say cop, because the last one I said for SDCC is a pass, but I think this one has a lot more detail to it, and I believe a lot of people were talking about how cool this moment was in the TV series. I wouldn't really know because I have not seen the series yet, but overall I think it's a much better pop than the SDCC one. Gloomy the Naughty Grizzly, which there's a normal one and flocked version, both being shared with Toy Tokyo in the US. Pass. What the is this item? Sergeant Slaughter from G.I. Joe, which is going to be shared with GameStop in both Canada and the US. Cop. A lot of the G.I. Joe pops sell very well, especially a lot of them have been shared with GameStop, and they have been selling out for G.I. Joe. So it's really awesome also that it's gravitating not only towards the Retro Toys fans and the G.I. Joe fans, but also the WWE fans like myself, because Sergeant Slaughter was a wrestler in WWE and made appearances in G.I. Joe. So this is really cool. I think it's going to gravitate towards many people's interest to get this pop. Steve with the handy dandy notebook from Blue's Clues, which is going to be shared with the Funko shop in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Cop. This is a major cop. People have been wanting a Steve pop since the announcement of Blue, both the common and the flocked version, and we finally have Steve here. I feel like it's going to be the #1 buy as terms to New York Comic Con this year, so that's definitely why it is a cop. Mikey as Yellow Ranger and Raphael as Red Ranger from the TMNT Power Rangers crossover set, both being shared with the Funko shop in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Cop. This mashup is really cool. We had the 2 for SDCC, we had the 1 for FunCon, and now we have the 2 remaining turtles for NYCC. And I feel like the posing and the facial expressions are much better than those 3 pops. And who doesn't like Michelangelo? 5-headed dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is going to be shared with GameStop in both Canada and the US. Cop. Now, I know at the moment, as terms to hype, people are saying, oh, this is a copy of Tiamat. This is just a ripoff of Tiamat, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like this is going to be a pop that people are just going to crap all over on social media. And then once they head to GameStop and actually see this, they're going to be like, oh, this thing is so detailed. This thing is so cool. I gotta buy it. So I feel like a lot of people are gonna end up buying it. Itadori with glasses from Jujutsu Kaisen, which this is gonna be shared with the Funko shop in the US only. Pass. Now, although this is a pretty decent looking pop, it looks more of like a comedic relief as terms to the character. We've gotten a lot of Itadori pops as it is for Jujutsu Kaisen, especially for a lineup only being announced this year in 2022. So I feel like people are really wanting more than just Itadori for this lineup, which is why it's a pass up, because I feel like already with the amount of them, a lot of people are just kind of getting sick and tired of the character. Karu and Hikaru 2-pack from Oron High School Host Club. This will be shared with Hot Topic in both Canada and the US. Pass. I say pass because this might be like a deep cut anime where only a certain amount of people know about it, so I feel like as terms of the general public, not a lot of people are going to end up getting this, and it'll end up being a shelf sitter at Hot Topic. From Dragon Ball Super, we have ourselves some Ultra Instinct Goku pops, one with Kamehameha, which is going to be shared with Chow's Collectibles in the US, and we got ourselves a signed version, which is going to be shared with Hot Topic in both Canada and the US. Pass. I say pass for both of them for very specific reasons. The first one being shared with Hot Topic, I think this could be a shelf sitter because of the fact that there are some cool items already there at Hot Topic and it might be an afterthought, but if it does sell out, it's going to end up being a restock on the Hot Topic website probably a couple of times, which is what Hot Topic's notorious for. And then we have the one exclusive to Chalice, which I say pass up because of the fact that eventually that Chalice is going to get so many of these pops that they're going to end up selling it for much cheaper when you buy their mystery boxes. For Dragon Ball Z, we have Second Form Cell, which this is going to be shared with GameStop in both Canada and the US. Cop. Reason I say cop is that although Dragon Ball Pops have been, a little iffy as of late, especially the driving exam Goku, at least this is a character that hasn't gotten that many versions of himself in pop form, so people might actually want more Cell Pops. Luffy with Going Merry Pop Brides from One Piece, and this is going to be shared with Hot Topic in both Canada and the US. Cop. This thing is insane. People are going nuts for this. This is going to be something that is the reason why you arrive at Hot Topic early, and there's going to be tons of people in line. People are going to want to get this pop. This is going to be a pop that I know Hot Topic isn't going to put much on stock on the shelves because it's a pop ride. So I feel like as terms to the first couple of people, they'll be able to get it, but if you're number 10 in line, it's going to be very difficult to get, and even on the Hot Topic website, it's going to essentially sell out right away, I can guarantee that. The Vecna 2-pack for the Stranger Things and Dungeons & Dragons crossover. This is going to be shared with the Funko shop in the US and Toys R Us here in Canada. Pass. I get the idea. Stranger Things and Dungeons & Dragons, they go hand in hand. However, they look so identical to the original pops of each of the characters, which if you already own either one of these characters, there's not really a point of getting this 2-pack. And last but not least, we have ourselves the Glitter Zero Pop and Bag Bundle, which is going to be shared with the Funko shop since it's limited to 3,000 pieces. Cop. Easy cop because it is a limited piece count. Obviously, if you're able to get a limited piece count at retail price, you're going to want to get it whether you actually like the pop or you're going to resell it on the secondary market. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this edition of Cop Up or Pass Up on the New York Comic Con exclusive, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think is worth a cop or a pass up as terms to these NYCC exclusives. And I said in the little intro, make sure you press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here. Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.